Right. So the requirement is we need to write in a program in Selenium. To get write in a program in Selenium, we need to taking care about the first activity, which need to mentioning the object identification. We can considering that we can mentioning that object, or we can consider element. Either we can mention object or we can considering the element here based on tester comfortable, based on the people comfortable. We can considering the object or which can considering the element. The requirement is we need to identify this objects. To identify object or to identify element while working with Selenium. While working with Selenium automation, we need to using with the option that we will be considering the inspect. We need to use with the option that we will be considering the inspect here. While working this particular inspect option, we need to taking with the help of 8 types of techniques. We are working with Selenium automation. While working with Selenium automation, to identify that particular object, we need to taking with the help of these 8 types of techniques here. In this particular 8 types, we need to mentioning the name and then considering the ID, and need to mentioning the class and then XPath, and considering the tag name, CSS, mentioning the link text, and then need to considering the partial link text. So totally, how many techniques we got? Which we got 8 techniques here. So which we got 8 techniques. While working this particular Selenium automation. So while working this particular Selenium automation, we need to taking care about in utilizing these particular object. In these particular techniques, which option need to used? In these particular techniques, which option need to used? That will depends on tester comfortable. Identifying, hello? Right. Now, you can see that which need to be taking care about in identifying this particular object. In this particular web page, it's not like only this web page. Any web applications you are working, each and every particular option, you can consider that one particular object. To identify these particular objects, first we have been taking care about in working with name and then considering the ID and then mentioning the class. Working with name, ID, class, followed with the same step. To work with these particular techniques, you need to be get followed with the same steps here. The steps will be followed. The steps will be followed. Just you are taking the help of HTML code. To identify these particular objects, we need to be taking with the help of this particular HTML code here. Now, let's understand one by one how we can work with these particular things. As an example, need to be consider username. As an example, you can consider in the username here. This particular username, we need to identify with the help of name, or need to be considered with the help of ID, and need to be considered with the help of class. As simple as you need to be identify the object. To identify the object, we are taking with the help of these options here. Now, we need to be understand what exactly the name of right. So if we consider this particular username text box, for this particular username text box, we need to be with name details. For that, as simple as doing with right click. What is option you are using? What is option? Inspect. Once you click on inspect, what you will get? What you are getting? HTML code. We are not worried about the whole HTML code. We are not worried about the whole HTML code. We need to be taking care about this particular highlighted one. In this, what is the tag name we got? What is the tag name? Input tag. So in this, need to be taking with name, and we got type, and we got class, and then tab index. What are all these things? Attributes here. Our requirement is need to identify with the help of the name. So what is the name of the text box we got? TXT username. For today, you need to be just taking the practice of in documenting what are the names we got for different kind of objects here. In a similar way, what is the next option? ID. If we consider this particular ID, now we can see here. Refer the highlighted one. Any ID attribute? Is there any ID attribute? Yes or no? In the highlighted one, any ID option? No, we don't have ID option. If we don't have ID option by your own, I mean, as a tester, we are not providing any of our own ID. If it is available, you have to use it. Not available, you are not worried trying with another option. So for this, name is not available. What is another option? Option. What is the class we got? Login test, which need to be provide that particular login text here. So which need to be provide that particular login text here. Okay. So going forward, when you're writing your actual Selenium program. Going forward, when you're writing your actual Selenium program, you have to take care about these options here. For now, just you are trying to get understand that how you are identifying that particular respective object with the help of the different options. In that one we got name and then ID and then taking with class. Okay. Now you can see here which need to be get mentioning that trying with another object. Let me try with password, or else you can consider login button. Anything you can try, followed with the same step. Considering the name option and then taking with ID and then taking with class. Okay. Now we can see here. Considering this particular name option. So now you're just closing this. You're just closing this activity. You required a password. Whatever object you required, do the right click. Once you've done the right click, what is option? What is option? Inspect. Once you click on inspect, getting with the highlighted one? Getting the highlighted one or not? In that highlighted one, see the name option. If we get look into name option, is there any name option? Yes or no? Name available or not? What is the name we got? What is it? TXT password. We are not worried what is that name. Whatever that name is there, as it is, you need to utilize. Why that name provided? Why not another name? Why small letter? Why capital letter? We are not worried about all those things. All that headache will be done by developer. We are not considering with developer. Consider us tester. Testers doesn't have any headaches, any targets here. Developers will have a lot of things here. But as part of tester, we are not worried about all those things here. Just whatever the name is there, as it is, you need to be provide that particular name. Considering the TXT password. What is the next option? What is the next option? ID. Okay. Now we can see here. Let me try with ID. Is there any ID option? Any ID option? No. So ID not available. We are not worried. If it is available, we will provide. If it is not available, not required to provide it. So ID not available. Any class option? Any class option? What is the class option we got? ID that will login text here. Okay. So this is how you need to be get continued. This is how you need to be get continued in providing all that particular required options here. So the one you will be taking with username and then taking with password. And after that, which need to be get considered that login button. For this login button, for this particular login button, we need to be get provide name and then taking with ID. After that, which you will be taking with class. You need to be get provide with name and then taking with ID and then taking with class. Let me try on that. Let me try on that. As simple as we need to be get taking care about having with the same option. So as simple as we need to be get taking care about the same steps here. Just doing with right click. It can be text box, it can be button, it can be the drop down, anything, any object you want to identify, Any object you want to identify, you need to be get followed with the same concept. Any object you want to identify, you need to be get followed with the same concept here. Let's see here. Which will be done with inspect. Once you've done the inspect, getting the highlighted one? Getting highlighted option or not? In that highlighted option, you need to be try with the name. Name option is there? Name option? Yes or no? Yes. We got name option. What is the name option? What is the name option? Submit. So as it is, you need to be provide. You need to be provide that name option. Let's try with ID. Let's try with ID. Any ID option? ID option? Yes or no? No. ID option is not available. As ID option is not available, not required to provide that ID. Any class option? What is the class option we got? Which you will be taking with class option is button. So you need to be get provide. You need to be get provide that particular class option. So whatever that options are available, you need to be get utilize it. In a similar way, assume that you want to be try with clear button. You want to be try with clear button. For that also taking with the name and then considering the ID and then taking with class. The one you will be consider name and then mentioning the ID and then mentioning the class. Now we can see here. Mentioning about this particular name as simple as followed with the same step. What are the steps need to follow? Doing with right click. Once you've done the right click, what is your favorite option? What is it? Inspect. Inspect will become your favorite option. Once you click on inspect, getting the highlighted one? Okay. In that highlighted one, search for name. Name option available? Yes or no? What is the name option? What is that name? Clear. Okay. Mentioning that clear. What is another option? ID. Okay. Let's refer the ID. Let's refer the ID. Any ID option? ID option? No. Why it is not provided? We are not worried. Why ID is not provided? We are not worried. Our requirement is just whatever the options are there, we need to be taking with the help of that particular options here. So now you can see here, considering that utilizing with the ID not available. Any class option? Class. What is the class option? But so this is how any options you can try, followed with the same concept. And after that, let me take with login. Yesterday, one of the person changed the password from your batch only. I clearly mentioned that don't get changed with the password, but from your batch, online students, from your batch only, the person has been changed the password. That will create a lot of rework to me, because it's not like only your batch or you guys are working. A lot of my other batches also will access with the same application. That will create a problem with the credentials. If you are changing with the password, that will create a lot of problems. Don't try to get changed with the password. Don't test that password is changing or not. You doesn't require to test that functionality. You guys can ignore that functionality. Online students also, Don't try to get change with the password. Okay. Now, see the option here. See the option. Yeah, how come, guys? Right. Now, let's look into this particular option. If we get consider this particular option, now we can see here. Now, requirement is I'm taking with leave summary, employee leave summary. Just an example. I'm just trying to identify different object. What is option we got? What is option we got? View button. We need to identify this particular object. Same options we will try. What are the options we will try? What are the options we will try? Taking with name. After that, taking with ID. Okay. After that, taking with class. It will be taking with name and then taking with ID and then considering the class. Okay. Now we can see here. Let me try. What is the name of that object? Just it will be doing right click. It will be doing with right click. What is option you will use? What is option you will use? Inspect. Once you done with the inspect, refer the highlighted line. In the highlighted line, any name option? Name option? Yes or no? Name option is there or not? No. Online students. Name option available or not? No. ID option? ID option. What is ID? What is it? BTN view. Go. Now. So available. ID option. What is ID option? BTN view. Let me try with class option. Let me try with class option. Class is available. Class is available. What is the class we got? What is the class? Got mentioned. The class we got mentioning the view button. So just whatever options are available, we need to be get refer that particular options. Whatever options are available, we need to be get refer that particular options here. Okay. What is it? Name is not available. ID available? Okay. Class available? Yes, we provided. Similar to this, let me try with one more option. Similar to this, let me try with one more option. Now we can see here. We got an option. One is add button. Another one is delete button. One will be taking with add button and one will be taking with delete button. Want to be get, need to be get, identify this add button. Need to be get, identify this particular add button. Now, you can see that you need to be get, identify, then what are the options here? Doing with inspect, doing with the right click one. What is the option you got? Option? Name. Name option. Yes or no? ID option. ID. Paka. Confirm. ID option available or not? Yes or no? No. Class? Okay. What is the class option? What is the class option? Plain button. For this object, name option not available. ID option not available. Class option we got. Okay. In a similar way, let me try with delete button. For delete also, it will be taking with name option and then taking with ID option and then considering the class option, which will be taking with name and then considering the ID and then considering the class. Okay, let me try on this. Now we are just taking with delete. Previously we done with add. Now we are taking with delete. Doing the right click and taking with inspect. Now we can refer highlighted one. Any name option? Name option? Yes or no? ID? Class? What is the class we got? Plain butter, not butter naan here. Plain butter naan is different. Plain button is different. What is the class we got? What is that? Plain BTN. Okay, not butter naan. Okay. So now we got this particular class providing that particular class. Now we can see that name option is available. No. See the whole conclusion. See the understanding. This is how we need to be get considered. In taking care about identifying with object. This is how we need to be get considered in with object here. So while working object identification, you doesn't require to make any major thing. Put the right click. Once you done with the right click, you can cross check the name option available, ID option is available, and then clicking with class option. This is what very regularly you will be identifying this particular object. In a similar way, we got some other options here. Now, just compare add button, delete button. If you compare add button, delete button, do you have name option? No. ID option? No. We cannot work with name. We cannot work with ID. Class option is there. What is the class option? For both the things, what is the class option? So what is the problem here? What is the problem? Same class name. Considering the duplicate. Sometime there is a chance you may face this kind of issue. You tried with the name. Name is not at all available. ID not available. Class available. But what is the problem? Same class name. That means even though class name is available, we are not able to work with the class. Even though class name is not available, you cannot work with the class here. So that class available, but duplicate, we cannot utilize it. So conclusion, name not able to work, ID not able to work, class also not able to work. So in this functionality, we are not able to work with name and not able to work with ID and not able to work with class. So what is another option? What is another option? XPath. So take with the new heading is XPath. So take with the new heading is XPath. So need to be get mentioning the take with the new heading is XPath here. Okay. So let's see that what exactly that particular XPath, what exactly mean by XPath here. Let's see that. Just take with the new heading. Just take with the new heading. Online students also take with it. For this, make a note of considering the nodes when in between of less than and greater than symbol, in between of less than and greater than symbol. Third, mention the mentioning the two types. In the first one, absolute XPath. First one, absolute XPath. Second one, relative XPath. Second one, relative XPath. Absolute XPath. Mention that starts from or starts with HTML tag. Starts with HTML tag name. Starts with HTML tag name. And then relative XPath. Relative XPath mentioning that starts with attribute. Okay. Just make a note of this. Make a note of these 2 points. Online students also make a note of those 2 points. Okay. Right. See that. So if we consider this particular XPath as simple as, what is the meaning of XPath? Meaning of XPath? Group of nodes. Now, when we are working with object identification, We may try with name. In this example, name is not available, ID not available, class is available but not able to use it. Because of the duplicate, we are not able to utilize with the class. Then you will be taking with XPath. When you're working real time, when you're working in the real time, it's not like mandatory that when you're working in the real time, it's not like mandatory that you need to try in a order. It's not like first you have to try with name, after that ID, or after that class. Identifying the object. Identifying the object is our target. Identifying the object is our target. Which technique we have to follow, which option need to be get followed, that it will depends on. Which technique need to be followed, which option need to be followed, it depends on tester. Selenium guys provided these 8 options. Which option need to use it depends on tester comfortable. Based on tester comfortable, you can utilize any of the option here. Identifying the object is our target. Which option need to use it, that depends on tester comfortable. Assume that you are more comfortable with XPath, not required to try with name or ID. As part of learning, we are trying to understand each and every particular option here. Saying that one we got name, ID, class. These are very straightforward. Just you are providing, you are referring that HTML code. In that HTML code, if name is available, you are using it. ID available, you are mentioning that. Class is available, you are mentioning that particular option. Considering with the XPath. What is the meaning of XPath? What is the meaning of XPath? Group of nodes. The meaning of XPath, you need to be considering the group of nodes here. What exactly meaning of node? What exactly the meaning of node? The meaning of node is in between. The meaning of node is in between of less than and greater than symbol. In between of less than. Having the less than symbol? Having or not? In the last, having the greater than symbol? In between less than and greater than. Consider one node. Now this is one particular node. Less than, greater than. One more node. This is one more node. Everything consider one particular node. As simple as in between of less than and greater than symbol. In between of less than and greater than symbol, considering as one particular node. Okay. Now, if we are grouping these nodes, if we group the nodes, that will be considered as a XPath. If we are grouping the nodes, that it will be considering as a XPath. Okay. How many types of XPath? How many types we got? 2 types. What are those? What is it? Absolute XPath and relative XPath. Meaning of absolute XPath? Starts with HTML tag name. Meaning of relative XPath? Starts with attribute. Let's see here. Let's understand. Let me try. Username only. Let me try username text box. Previously, we identified by using the name. Now we are identifying by using XPath. What is the meaning of XPath? Group of nodes. So how we can get this XPath? How we can get this XPath? Let's see here. For that, doing right click. First I'm taking right click. What is option? What is option? Inspect. Once you got inspect, having the highlighted line. Okay. Just do the right click on highlighted line. Do the right click on highlighted line. You will get your favorite option. So once you do with the right click, what is your favorite option? What is your favorite option? Copy. From there, one more favorite option. One more laddu you will get here. Not paste. What is this? What is the option? What is that? Copy XPath. Now one more laddu also is there here. What is that? Copy full XPath. One is copy XPath. Another one is copy full XPath. What is the difference? Full. Meaning of copy full XPath. Meaning of copy full XPath. It will provide absolute XPath. What is it? Absolute XPath. The meaning of copy full XPath, it is providing absolute XPath. The meaning of copy XPath, what it will provide? What it will provide? Relative XPath. Not like any major difficulties. Just here doing the right click. Let me use the option. What is the option we got? Copy full XPath. Click on that. It will provide. So which will be taking with paste. Okay. Now we can see. So meaning of copy this particular full XPath. What do you consider? Absolute XPath. Meaning of absolute XPath? Meaning of absolute XPath starts with HTML tag. What is the tag name we got here? What is the tag name we got? HTML. Just started grouping with the nodes, combining with the nodes. Okay. In a similar way, let me try relative. Doing with the right click, taking with copy, and then using the option. What is option? What is option? Copy XPath. Just click on it and provide it. Okay. Now, meaning of copy XPath? Meaning of copy XPath? Relative XPath. Meaning of relative XPath? Starts with attribute. What is attribute it got? What is attribute it got? ID. So how it is providing? It's not like any magic or logic here. No magic, no logic here. How you are getting this information? As simple as meaning of XPath. Meaning of XPath. Group of nodes. Now you can see that you got a table ID. Refer the HTML code. You will have that option. Table ID. What is the table ID? Table _ 01. That is what it has been provided here. Is that same thing we got? Okay. Next we provided 2 forward slashes. According to the HTML, meaning of this this single forward slash. Taking into next node here. This is you can consider. This is you can consider taking into next node. This is your starting point. From the starting, it has to go to next node. What is the next node you got? What is the next node you got? T body provided as it is T body. Okay. So now we can see that after T body, what is the next option? TR. How many TRs are there? How many TRs are there? How many TR guys? One. Just one TR only. You are able to see that one TR here. Okay. After that, taking with TD. How many TDs we got? How many TDs we got? 2. Okay. So image you will ignore. And after that, again, taking with tag name. What is taking with tag name? What is this particular tag name? What is the tag name? Table. You can see here. One is table, T body. How many TRs? 2 or 3? 2 or 3. What about this one? That is closing tag. We cannot consider closing tag. We cannot consider closing tag. So which you will be considering the 2. Now we can see that having with the T body, TR of 2 and then TD of 2. Then text box is taking the input. So you are providing that particular input. So this is how the XPath has been generated. You are using the copy option here. So apart from that, initially okay, but going forward, once you got a comfortable, you need to just see that how exactly that particular XPath has been providing. So how exactly that particular XPath has been providing, you need to provide that particular details. So the one you will be consider username. Assume that you want to be take with password. You want to be take with password. That particular password, let me try. That particular password, let me try. Now we can see here. Just doing with right click. What is option? What is option? Inspect. Once you're done with the inspect, getting the highlighted code? Highlighted one. Okay. Now in this highlighted one, what is your favorite option? Taking with the right click and copy. From the copy? What is your option? Copy XPath or copy full XPath based on your comfortable. I'm just taking with copy full XPath, providing absolute providing absolute XPath. Then you will be taking with relative XPath. Further, just doing the right click and then taking with copy. And after that, what is option? Copy XPath. You need to be provide copy XPath. So need to be provide that particular XPath. So this is how we got a possibility in working with XPath. So first understanding, what is the meaning of XPath? Meaning of XPath? Group of nodes. How many types of XPath? How many types? 2 types. What are those? Absolute XPath and relative XPath. Meaning of absolute XPath? Starts with HTML tag name. The tag name itself should be HTML. If you want to be cross-check that, see that. So the tag name itself, what is the tag name? HTML. From there, it has to take all the connectivity. From there, it will be providing all the hierarchy here. So that it will be considering that which need to be get provided, taking with XPath. So while working this particular X path, we got absolute X path, relative X path. So based on tester comfortable, you can utilize any of the option. Now assume that you tried with absolute X path, you tried with relative X path, but still that object is not identified. But still the object is not identified. Then what is the technique you will try? What is it? Tag name. So we need to go with tag name. But before going to the tag name, we need to get understand some more concepts. Before going to the tag name, we need to take with some more concepts. In that, take with new heading. In that, take with new heading. Take with the new heading, mentioning that X path with right. So take with another heading, X path with attributes. Under that, make a note of the options. Under that, make a note of the option. X path with single attribute. X path with single attribute. X path with multiple attribute. X path with multiple attribute. X path with multiple attribute. After that, X path with text attribute. X path with contains. X path with starts with. Okay, make a note of this. Single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute, contains, starts with. Right. So now I can say that. So we can work with mentioning about. So don't be confused at all. As simple as considering the X path. How many types of X path? How many types of X path? 2 types. What are those? Absolute X path and relative X path. That part always same. Under relative, you can work with some more options here that will be mentioning about X path with attributes. While working attributes, what are the options we got? Single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute, contains, starts with. So let's understand. One by one, we'll get understand about how we can work with these things. Relative X path, absolute X path. Laddu option is there here. Laddu option means copy option is there. But attributes, there is no laddu here. That means no copy option here. We have to prepare that laddu here. So there is no copy option. We have to take care about in writing this XPath? In a very simple way, we can write. How we can write it? Let's see that. Take with the first one. What is the first option? What is the first option? XPath with single attribute. In the name itself, we can easily understand. What is the name it got provided? XPath with single attribute. Meaning of single? Not married. Not married. Meaning of single? Only one. So it is clearly mentioning that it should be single attribute. Meaning of single? Only one. Okay. Meaning of attribute? Property. Planning about marriage, property, single, married. According to the HTML, meaning of attribute. Don't go with your programming language, guys. According to HTML, having the equal symbol, what you will consider? What you will consider? Attribute. According to the HTML, having with the equal symbol, you are considering that attribute. The name of the technique, it mentioned that XPath with single attribute. So you have to take any equal. I mean, whatever the attributes are there, in that particular attributes, you can utilize any of the attribute. See the syntax here. See the syntax. Need to be provide 2 forward slashes. Need to be get provide 2 forward slashes. In this, after that, you need to be provide HTML tag name and then taking with square brackets, @ symbol, mentioning that attribute type equal to attribute type equal to mentioning about attribute value. You need to be get mentioning that attribute type equal to attribute value. That XPath with single attribute, you need to be get mentioning that 2 forward slashes and then taking with HTML tag name, considering that @ symbol attribute type equal to attribute value. Now, according to the syntax, we need to identify username text box, doing with the inspect. Now we can see here. See the syntax to be followed. First, what you have to provide? 2 forward slashes. After that, what you have to provide? What is it? HTML tag name. Meaning of HTML tag? Meaning of HTML tag? For now, you can considering like having less than symbol. Refer the highlighted one. Having the less than symbol. What is the tag name we got? What is the tag name? Input. Okay. You need to be provide input. You need to be get provide input. Okay. After that, taking with square brackets, mentioning about @ symbol, attribute type. Now we can see what are the attributes we got. What are the attributes we have? Name, type, class, index. What is our technique? Name of the technique? XPath. XPath with single attribute. Meaning of single? One. We have multiple attributes are there. So in that you need to utilize any one attribute based on your comfortable. You can try with any attribute. I'm taking with name option. as it is. You will be taking with name. You will take with name. Considering that name equal to, you will provide that name. So this is what you will be writing with XPath with single attribute. This is what you will be writing XPath with single attribute. Now let me cross check that either this XPath is correct or not. We need to be cross checked that. We need to be get cross checked that this XPath has been correct or not. So let's understand this XPath has been correct or not. How we can confirm? Once you write XPath, go to .html code. In this HTML code, take with Control F. What is it? Control F. From the keyboard, you can press Control F. Getting the text box? See here. I'm just clicking on cancel. I'm just clicked on cancel. From keyboard, what we have to press? Control F. You will get the text box. Now provide XPath what you've written. Provide the XPath. Once you provide XPath, from the keyboard, click on enter button. Now we can see here. Let me click on enter. Once I click on enter, you guys can refer application, not HTML code. See the application. Anything highlighted? In the application, not HTML code. See that application. In the application, anything highlighted? Highlighted or not? Which one is highlighting? Which one is highlighting? Login name text box. Username text box. By that, you can confirm that you have been done with correct XPath here. For example, assume that I just removed E here. Now I'm clicking on enter. Anything highlighting? Anything highlighting? So then you can understand there is some wrong in the XPath what you provided. So this is how we can understand that either we written with correct XPath or not. This is what you need to be get taking with the practice. You guys need to be get You need to be get taking with the practice of having the notepad file, word file, whatever it can be. Just in the application, take with each and every object, like username text box, password text box, whatever you are comfortable. You can try for any application. For all the applications, you can start working with providing with name option. You can provide name. See that what is the name. Name available, you can provide. Not available, you can ignore. Then see that ID, see that class, and then taking with XPath. That relative XPath, absolute XPath, that copy option is available. But once you are taking with the more practice, that part also we can get write it manually. At the same time, XPath with attributes. This XPath with attributes, for now, we got single attribute. While working with the single attribute, from the highlighted one, you can take any attribute. Whatever the attribute you required, you can take with any attribute and then you can utilize it. So by that, we can cross check that either XPath has been correct or not. All these things we will be using at the time of writing our actual Selenium program. Our main target is to write Selenium program. Before going to that, you guys need to get comfortable of these techniques here. So take with the practice of these techniques. Take with the practice of these techniques. Tomorrow we'll look into remaining techniques and we'll try to complete other options also. By that, if we complete by tomorrow, from day after tomorrow, we can start writing with our actual Selenium program. I'm not taking anything related to Java. You guys just cross-check on that. So just take care about the basics up to OOPS concepts. Up to OOPS concept. Apart from that, take care about the concept of interface. Knowing it? Interface. Just take care about the concept of interface concept, and apart from that, all remaining things also. Just continue practice on this. Okay, carry on. Thank you. Online students having the questions, you can wait.